Okay, what I'll do is I've actually tested this after probably 10 minutes max, and I put a little bit of water on there and tried to rub it back, and it looks as if it's really well dried. And so yeah, about 10 minutes I think it was to scrape that back. So I'm just going to put some more water on it, and then we'll try and rub it back. This is how I usually do my thing. Look, there are other ways of, as I've mentioned earlier, you know, just use a sticker or a piece of tissue paper or whatever. I've just taken the excess water off that, but now I'm just going to start to rub it back a bit, and this should reveal the picture underneath. This is a very time-consuming process. You could probably spend at least anywhere up to 10 minutes just rubbing back. I usually just try to gently do it with my finger. I'm loving the way that that pink is coming through the background there. I'm just taking off the paper. You're going to see the design underneath. See how the paper's white that's coming off. So that's telling me that the laser print isn't actually coming off with it, which is what you want. You don't want it coming off. Whereas just your normal printer, colour printer, you'll have a dirty finger by now, and all this paper will be greens or blues, depending on the ink colour that you've used the most of. But generally this is just the white paper coming off the back. There's a little bit of a crack there. That's where I actually put the sealer on the wrong side. So I've been a little bit more heavy-handed there. But however she turns out is how it will be, and I'll be happy with the result. As you can see, it's a little bit time-consuming, pulling back that layer of paper. Just go as gently as. I continue to keep watering or wetting the paper generally, so that I get as much paper off as I possibly can before I go on to the next move. So I'm going to hopefully not take too long. But you can see how that beautiful design's coming through now, and that'll be a nice thin layer on the top of the ball. Okay, so I've taken most of the paper off, just gentle circular motions with the finger, and it obviously doesn't get the whole 100% of the paper off, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place some sealer over top just to seal that, or if you don't want to go with the sealer option, all you need to do is put some varnish over. I like to use a matte varnish. I find that, just get my sealer here while I'm talking so I don't hold you up too long. So just place the sealer over the top. See, this design here is all that is there really now, is just a layer of sealer with the ink in it from the photo or the picture that you put down. I'm sealing over top just to protect the design and to take away some of that, what shall I say, the cloudiness of the tiny little bit of paper that's still left on the surface there, which, you know, wouldn't see. Blind man on a galloping horse wouldn't even notice. So I'll just let that dry for a minute. And then what I might do is I might varnish over the area just so that I can start with my crackle medium. As I said earlier, I've got 2 coats of paint on here, so I think I'll just just varnish the whole area so that I can work without any problems. See, whatever I put on top of this before it's varnished will be very tricky to get off. You can see I've got a couple of little marks there from my fingers that were dirty with the raw umber. Not a problem because I'm going to crackle in there. But generally, if you want to protect your area, place a layer of sealer down or a layer of varnish down, and that'll protect that area. Now that ball's going to roll away again, so I might just pop one of those there. There you go, that worked. So yeah, what I'll do is I will put some matte varnish down. I'm just about out of this stuff. I'm using the Atelier brand today, which is a Chroma product. It's just because I have run out of the Sonja matte varnish that I love. This is just as good, same company. So I'm just gonna, come on, out you come. It's just about empty, I think. Bear with me, I'll take the lid off. Probably a little bit nicer way to do things anyway. Just take it out of the bottle. So I'll just varnish the ball, just so that that area of paint is protected when I work on top of it. There's another couple of mediums that you could probably use. You could use any varnish for that matter, but there is actually something called clear glaze medium that Sonja put out as well, and that will place a barrier layer on top of your paint to protect it before you put anything more on. I use it in a lot of my paintings that I do. Let me just trying to not get rid of that design on there. The ball is a bit of a pest. I should have it sitting in something to make it easier, which I will do in a minute when I'm finished varnishing. Come on, I should have kept this up. It's just about empty. You can see that it's almost dry already. Not sure what's causing it to dry so quickly, because normally in this kind of weather it's quite a cool day here. Normally it takes a little bit of time to dry, but again you can see I'm protecting that area, and it's matte, so it's hard to see where I'll put it now that it's drying. I'm just going to get a jar or something to sit that in, which I should have done in the beginning. Now that I've done this side, I might just sit that there and get my varnish out of its jar, out of its bottle. I'm not normally this messy when I paint. But you can see there's no rhyme or reason to my strokes. I'm just really covering it. I'm not sure if I'll crackle the whole ball or not. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But it's going to protect it. Whatever happens on top now, that paint will be protected. Should have used a bigger brush. Big item, big brush. Small item, small brush. Just one of the rules I normally follow, which kind of gone out the window with this project, because I'm mindful it's taking quite a bit of time to go over. When I'm making these myself, I don't even notice the time going, but when you're trying to show someone else how to do it, just different steps. I think I'm done there. I'll just pop the lid back on that. All right, so this will be dry in a minute, and then we'll pop some crackle over it. Meanwhile, I'll just wash my brush. And when you're using crackle medium, it's sort of like I usually put it on a little bit thicker than normal, only because the thicker the medium that goes on, the bigger the cracks. The smaller or the thinner the medium, the thinner or smaller the cracks will turn out. Okay, so come on, dry, dry, dry. Okay, so that's nice and dry now, and you can see that I've gone over her with the matte varnish, and it almost looks, you know, quite a clean picture. And it's wafer thin, because, well, even thinner than that, because all this is the layer of sealer with the ink from the laser printer on it. So it's not even paper thin, it's much thinner than that. So what I'm going to do now is to try and place these bits that I've prepared earlier. I'm just thinking, I just want to have a quick look at it while it's on here. Oh, it's sticking on there. Just want to pop that up the top there. I need to place these first, I think, because I want to do a little bit of crackle in here. It's going to, I might bring it down a little bit. I know it's going to cover some of her hair, but I think that's where I'll go. Just bring that up a bit. And I'm going to put these other little ones. There's no glue or anything on. I'm just placing them, just see where I'm going to put things. Might put those just in at the side. I think that'll work. So let's get on it. I've decided not to use the Mod Podge. I'm going to use this Craft Smart Tacky Craft Glue. And I'll just pop it down with that. So just on the back of it, just put a smattering of, come on, how'd you come? Gee, when you want it to flow out, it doesn't, and when you don't, it does. It's kind of Murphy's Law, I suppose. But this is, it's good glue. There's many other glues on the market. Obviously, you'll use what you're used to. I'm out of picture there. So I'm just going to pop these on. I'll put my glasses on so I can see a little bit better. And just pop it on. Maybe there. Coming down a little bit on her head, but just want to make sure that that's not crooked. So I'll just leave it there and stick it down. That tacky glue will help stay that. I might just spread that out a little bit. Because these are so flexible still, you can spread them out a little bit if you want. I'm a little bit reluctant to do it because knowing my luck, they'll probably break when I do that. So just put some more glue on the back of here. You're bored yet? I think you probably all know how to glue stuff. You could use your clear craft glue. You could use your glue gun if you prefer to use that. I've got a little glue gun that my hubby bought me as well, it's not really a gun. I'll show you in a minute. It's a beautiful little glue implement that he bought from Bunnings. That's for the hot glue. I just want to bring that down a bit like that. Sit it there. Just show it to you before I forget and move on. This little thing here, it's a Bosch Gluey, it's called. Don't know how much it costs, but probably about $70, I don't know. I'm just guessing. And what I've done is I've chopped up, it comes with some glue sticks, well, little glue pieces like that yellow one there, about that size. And what I've done is I've chopped up a whole pile of my glue sticks because you can only fit in here, where are we? You can only fit two glue little bits in there, and it shuts up over it, and this thing heats up, and then you've got like a pencil that you've got a little bit more control over instead of the glue gun. So I like that. It comes with batteries, and you've got to put batteries in it. And I thought it was a nifty little thing, and I'm glad I've got it. So yeah, I use that for certain things, like for instance when I put the bow on the top, I'll use that. Equally, I could just use my glue gun. Obviously you don't need to see me gluing, but just try and get enough on there so it stays put. Oh, very fragile, these little things. Hopefully it's going to be okay there. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. Looks like it belongs. And I'll bring the other one onto the other side. Being I'm quite liberal with the glue. It doesn't matter if it comes over the edge. Do you know that PVA glue, which is this type of stuff, on a painted surface can actually cause your surface paint to crack? So if you're looking for a crackle medium that you don't have to spend a lot on, PVA glue will do the job, because what actually happens is the bottom layer of the paint and the glue dry at different levels or different time frames, and there are different products, so the top layer will pull against the bottom layer, and so you get those little cracks. Not the same as the crackle that I'm going to put on here now. So yeah, I don't mind that. Doesn't look too shabby. Not that it would matter if it did. But yeah, so I'm going to just put some crackle in here now. Get my glue out of the way. Okay, so I tend to shake things. I don't know if you're meant to, but I just don't like the idea of something settling in the bottom and me only getting half the medium. So what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to get it on her so much, maybe just a little bit around the edges. And just pour it straight on and just brush it in. Just to add a little bit of interest around the edge of that inside of that frame. And see that tacky glue worked well, staying on there. A little bit more of that over here. Oops, bit of overkill there. Yeah, I didn't want to actually get it on the surface of that. I might just use a bit of paper towel and stop that just from flowing over. It doesn't matter if it's on the inside of the frame or even on the top. It doesn't really matter, because you're not going to see the crackles until I put, once it's dry, need to put a bit of paint. I might just put some over her body there, just a little bit. Maybe just some over here. Because what happens with this crackle is it's actually self-cracking, so it's not like your decor sandwich crackle type. It's a surface cracking medium, so it'll do its job as soon as it's dry. I don't tend to use a dryer or anything to get this dry, so we'll just wait a few minutes and then I'll show you the outcome. Okay, so it looks like it's dried. Not sure, it's hard to see the cracks. So what we'll do is I'm just going to put a tiny touch of water on my brush and mix up some Payne's Grey with, you can see the beautiful blue tone there, with a little bit of burnt umber. It's going to give it a real washy kind of grey tone there, and I'm just going to see if it'll go, if there's any cracks. Oh, okay, maybe too much water. Okay, we'll take some of that off and just use the paint, because what will happen with the paint is that it'll go into the cracks. I thought the watery paint would do it, but it's not working as well as I thought. So I'm just pushing down the paint into the cracks. Hopefully it's cracked. If it hasn't, then I'm not going to be happy. Just a few little cracks really. I'll just wipe that away. The cracks didn't work as well as I'd hoped. You can see that there, where it was quite thick here, it's cracked into tiny little cracks. Maybe it's just not cured enough yet. Let's try and see. Nothing going in, so it's not really cracked the way I wanted it to, which is no big deal. Try the other side here. There might be some. It's probably still a bit watery. Just pushing that paint in. It's always a way when you're working on camera. Things go pretty much as they should when you're not doing it for anyone to see. And then it, for some reason only known to God, it doesn't work the way you want it to when you really need it to. Let's try pull some of that off. You can see there are a few cracks. Not what I had hoped for. Bit of a close-up there. It's not a major problem. Obviously, this is going to crack a little bit more as it cures. A bit disappointing that it can't crack while it's on camera. It can't crack enough. Anywho, doesn't matter. I'll keep going. And just cope with it the way it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do while I've got this colour on my brush, I'm just going to add a bit of water to it. I'm going to go around, just around the inside of that frame, just to dirty up that picture a little bit. Maybe a little bit more colour. You can wipe away as much as you like. You don't need special mediums for this. Paint will do it. I do see some people using fancy fandangle mediums like, you know, antiquing medium, waxes, all that kind of thing. And yeah, they're beautiful, but you don't need them. You just need a bit of paint and a bit of water. And obviously, if you're using crackle medium, you need some crackle medium. I think I'll stick to the Sonja brand in future because I don't have any problems whatsoever with that crackle. The decor one just really doesn't do it for me, I'm afraid. Anyhow, I'm not here to advertise for everybody. It's just really what works for me at the time when I need it. Okay, that's a bit light there, so I might just put a bit of darker colour in. I'm going to take a lot of that away. And look, it doesn't really matter if it dries on here. I hope I haven't been working too much off camera for you. A bit of annoying to do that. Sorry about that. But yeah, what I've done is I've just placed some paint around the inside of the frame. You can place it on the outside of the frame. I'll just see. Like that one there. I've just placed it around the edge. I sounded funny because I have my paintbrush in my mouth. I think I'm going to leave it like that. What I'm going to do after is I might just crackle all around the rest of that just to give it an aged, all over age look like this one. So, and that's the same crackle, believe it or not. I'm not sure why the difference. But anyway, I think it's probably because I didn't leave it enough to cure. And I'm trying to get through this video reasonably quickly, which hasn't really happened to date. Been taking quite a bit of time with this one. I do apologise for that. I'm not really good at making light, quick videos. And I'm not great at editing because I do have some editing software, but when I go to upload it to YouTube from the editing software, it just won't let me do what I need to do. So it's a bit of a bother, really, because YouTube says they need to have access to my YouTube, and when I try to give them access, I can't do it for some reason. So I've got a baby wipe here, and I'm just dabbing some of that colour away. This is protected because I did put some sealer over it. Maybe that's what caused the medium not to crack so quickly. I put sealer and then I put matte varnish, and now I've got the... I kind of like that look there, even though it's taking away some of that design. But yeah, so I'm going to leave it at that for now, and I'm going to come back and show you what I do with the crackle around the edge. Actually, I don't know if I will. I like that look. I like it just the plain look on the front. So when I do the bow tutorial, I'll put the bow on here as well so you can see that. But anyway, I know it's been a lengthy video, and again, apologies for that, but you can see the outcome. It's not too bad. Okay, if you have any comments, leave me a comment. If you want something else on here as far as any kind of tutorials, I'm pretty well rounded in my artistic ability. I am a decorative artist and painter as well. I do murals as well as all kinds of small paintings, and do a lot of floral things. And I've done furniture, whereas I've painted women like this on big pieces of furniture. Not put a sticker on, but I've painted them, and so I can do most things. So if there's anything you want to see and you feel that it's going to be useful for me to help you learn it, then leave me a comment. And thank you so much for watching this video with me. Bye for now.